Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today we're going to be doing day 5 of Failed Film February. The film that we're going to be discussing today is a movie called Foodfight. This may be the worst movie that I've ever seen in my life. What I had to endure when I watched this entire movie was absolutely appalling and awful. I can't believe I went through this entire experience of watching this godforsaken movie for an hour and 25 minutes. And I must say, thank God this movie is free on YouTube. And it's hilarious because it's not even just like a YouTube movies free movie, it's a user uploaded free movie. So, like, it's so bad that someone just like pulled the VOD or whatever and just uploaded it. It's not even on any streaming services, so this is the way you watch it. You just search Food Fight 2012, it's there. So I discovered this by looking up a list of extremely low rated movies on IMDb, and this was one of them. And I said, I gotta add some really, really bad films to this list to, really see what makes a film this bad. And man, this film is incredibly bad. So with this, I wanted to turn it off multiple times. It was getting unbearable at times. Like, I had to, like, get up and, like, do some stuff at some points. And some people might say, like, oh, you could just, like, turn it off and just, like, give your thoughts on it and just say, like, oh, you hated it, you turned it off, like, but no, I don't want to do that because that's not how you properly review and watch a movie. In order to properly review a movie, you have to watch it all the way through, I think. I don't think you have a right to review a movie if you haven't watched it all the way through. So, with that being said, it's just like, I have to, hold myself to this standard no matter what. I cannot, waver. So yeah, I powered through it. And in so many ways, it was just so hard to get through. First of all, the big thing to talk about is the animation in this. It's downright disgusting to look at. It feels like it's so low effort, and yet at the same time, so appalling with some of these like character looks and different designs and just like very, very low quality looks of characters here. Specifically, there was like a few that like really, really grossed me out. Like, there was this like weasel thing that had his like head like curved, and then there was like this like Brand X guy who had like weird fucking eyes and like gray hair. And then there was like some like human, just like a human who like did not look human at all. They just looked like a disgusting creature. And yeah, so that certainly doesn't help it. But what really like just like hurts this film in so many ways for me is the terrible humor that's here. Um, Literally, like, it feels like every other minute there's like some sort of like line of dialogue being said that's like a play on words to like incorporate a food item into the sentence. Like, they're literally just like making up sayings with like food items in them, and it's so bad. And yeah, it's just like the puns are like never ending. Like, whoever thought like puns like this were like funny or like a good idea, um, definitely was certainly wrong about that, because like there's just like so many here. And they also like kind of like have this weird line that they almost cross with this being like an R-rated movie, but it's not, because like they'll say like what's supposed to be a swear word, but then they won't say the swear word. They'll just say like what the fudge, or they'll say like hot chips, or something that like replaces the word essentially. And like there's so many like sexual innuendos that like allude to like characters doing things and implying things that the characters are you know suggesting. And yeah, I'm just like, why is this like this? This is just like so hard to like watch. Like, I can't stand this. And like there's even like racial jokes too, like when at one point this girl, like, she like picks up this, or gets with this like guy who's like dark skinned, so you can assume he's like black, I guess. And she was like, "Oh, I like chocolate. Chocolate's like my favorite," or something dumb like that. And she's saying like, talking about her love for chocolate, and like it's clearly like alluding to like him being a black character, and it's just like, stop, please stop. That is just so stupid and offensive. I can't stand things like that. Like, dude, come on. Really? And like, even if you're like trying to just like understand and like get into the story of this, it's really hard to get into, because it's just like there's no like coherent story to understand. There's no like way to like comprehend what's going on. It's just like plot element, plot element, plot element, like things getting thrown at you about these characters and like their history and what they've gone through, and you're just like, I don't know what any of the fuck this is. And like, you can only understand like a baseline of like what's going on, where it's like, this dog detective guy, needs to save the day, and brand X is gonna like ruin all the brands by adding expiration dates from them. They're gonna send them to the expiration factory or whatever the fuck it is. The dog has like this girlfriend who he has to save, and supposedly like, the girlfriend and this other girl were like competing, and this other girl like wanted to get back at the girlfriend because her products weren't selling. And it's like this whole thing about like brands trying to like keep going and surviving and working in the market. You just have like all these different I guess like mascots. Like you have like the fish guy, Mr. Clean. There's just like different random things. It's making me cringe just like talking about it, dude. Like, it's so stupid and it's beyond enjoyable for the most part. I will say, like, there are like a couple of times where like something silly happens and I'm like, I mean, that's kind of funny. But I mean, out of like the many bad parts of this, there's just like a couple things here and there where I'm like, I can't help laughing at that. There's one part actually that I do remember now, where they go to dump hot chocolate on some guys that they're trying to like kill, or I guess hurt with food or whatever. And they go to dump the hot chocolate, and then they're like, "Wait, you forgot the marshmallows!" And they like dump some marshmallows in. Oh my god, dude! And even that's just like stupid when I say it out loud. Like, come on, man, really? And like, with this whole thing with animation being bad, it's also like this animation of the food, because it's called Foodfight. The whole thing is like this movie is leading up to this giant food fight near the end, where like the brands go to battle with all this food and they're throwing food at each other, and you expect it to be like this creative thing where you see all these different foods exploding, but it's not. It's awful because literally there's no effort being put into the effects for this. It's literally just you see the piece of food being thrown and it's just like an explosion of liquid. There's no like nuance or detail to what this food is. It's just like, it's either explosion of liquid of this color, is it ketchup? It's going to be red. Is it watermelon? It's probably going to be like pink or red, or whatever. And, whatever like food is being thrown at them. Like, if it's hot chocolate, it's going to be brown. Like, there's no creativity there. And, then it's like, when it's like, something like poisonous or like something that's like not like a liquid, it's like gas. You see this like gas in the air and you're like, dude, what is this? And I just like, I don't get like how a film could be like this bad. It feels like this is like one of the best and worst cases of a movie just completely going off the deep end. Part of it has to do with the fact that this film went through a whole like crisis of its animation life cycle because some of the animation was reportedly like lost or stolen apparently, and then it wasn't what they wanted it to be, and then they had to kind of like rework it to be like this, and it ended up turning out to be what you see here. And and yeah, it took like 7 years to release it, when the film finally got auctioned off. And yeah, and somehow it still got made, and there you go. So yeah, I absolutely hated this. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to give this movie a 1.5 out of 10. That's the first one I've ever given a movie publicly on here. I mean, I think there are like other movies I would give a 1. There's a couple other ones like Master of Disguise and probably Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yeah, this one definitely deserves a 1. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.